Yo.
Hello, hello. Is all good here?
Hey, I can hear you.
Hey. Good, that's good.
Can everybody else hear Peth?
Yep.
Excellent. Okay, so now is the time we've all been waiting for. Peth is going to give us an excellent overview of what the hell is going on. Peth, take it away.
Thank you. It feels a bit okay. There's a good mix of people. Yeah, I wanted to say it feels weird to be introducing MetaGame when the people here already know it. But yeah, we got some new people. That's good. It's a good mix.
Peth, you there?
Yeah, can you not hear me?
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Hearing you.
Oh my god. Can you hear me now? Okay,
Yes. Yes.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just get started. So one of our people built this interspace website, which we decided to use for hosting our metagame calls and also hosted a MetaCartel meetup. And then I thought, maybe we can organize a conference here. And then as that was going on, like at the same time as this Corona stuff, it kind of blew up and it became a lot bigger than expected. So that's why we had a lot of technical difficulties so far. But I think it's turning out good, and especially now that Hamad is here and was able to hook up the streams back on and the hubs, and then by Drew. All right, so that's good. That's good. I don't know. I need to share this screen. Contability. All right. So yeah, this was actually the presentation that I made for each CC. That I'll just get into it. A lot of you know this chili already. It represents the Meta Cartel, which is a group of people that came together to solve some user experience problems in the Ethereum space. Basically started by solving the meta transactions, because previously you need to have a bit of Ether to use any application on Ethereum. So that's like a major obstacle for most normal people that don't have any crypto yet. And so, basically after they did that, they decided to stick together and do other things for the Ethereum community. And they put together a DAO with a fund. So they got, I think by now, about $200,000 to give away in grants to people that have life. And just some people that build cool shit. MetaCartel gives them money. But it's about more than money. Like MetaCartel is more about helping people generally build stuff. So this is the MetaCartel. But yeah, when I got into it, there was no ecosystem map like this, and it was just so there's just this chat that I needed to figure out what the hell is going on and who are these people, what are the projects and whatnot. I'll just quickly introduce this. Basically, we got the MetaCartel DAO, in the middle, which is like giving out grants and helping people to connect with other people that are willing to work. We got the Signal DAO for like vetting ideas. So when you have an idea, you go to Signal DAO and people there tell you like if it's a good idea or not. We got the Meta Factory, which is the first community-owned, I guess, brand, but not just a brand because you can make your own brand through Meta Factory. Yeah, it got a bit complicated than it started, like it started. So Hamad will be able to answer some more questions about that. We got the Raid Guild, which is a bunch of people from the Meta Cartel that also do freelance work and just got together and put together a guild. We got the Venture DAO, which is supposed to be like a real investment DAO for the projects of the Meta Cartel and the wider ecosystem. Then we got the DAO House for launching, searching, and managing the Moloch DAOs. We got the newsletter for sharing news. We got these chats. We got the Wizard of the Apps podcast for talking about apps, interviewing the people from the Meta Cartel that are building cool stuff. And we got the Meta Clan, which is the first decentralized gaming guild. And then there's all these projects that MetaXL gave grants to. That yeah, I'm not going to go into all of them, but
and then there's all these projects that MetaXL.
Right. So yeah, when I got in, basically this started as a project for the Meta Cartel to sort of come up with some kind of structure, a map, and whatnot. It became basically this thing, a massive online coordination game. It's sort of like Facebook meets Upwork meet the World of Warcraft. So you got it has all these usual MMORPG stuff, like players and guilds. And guild is basically any group of people with a long-term goal. So it can be a startup, it can be like raid guild, it can be specifically like a marketing guild, or it can be an investment fund or whatever. We got maps and guides, which are like really needed currently in the space to make sense of what's going on and really find your place and know what to do next. What naturally comes out of that is the roles and skills, so that you are able to tell who does what and who has what skills, quests and challenges to progress through the world, solve stuff, titles and achievements to get recognition, and shops and markets, which are basically always needed as a part of the ecosystem. So this goes through like why gamification is powerful. So this is based on the Octalysis framework, which was made by this guy Yu-Kai Cho, who was basically a guy just addicted to games that also studied economics and psychology and was into like and was into behavioral psychology a lot, and basically came up with this framework that explains why people like games. Basically starts with epic meaning and calling. What is going on? Someone is talking without a muted mic.
今見に行きたいの?
Makoto. all right.
10分で終わるの? 50.
Can you share me, Makoto?
2人でそこちょっとお散歩して、
this is where the problem
で、ちょっとそこで食べる。
without the ability to moderate.
Who's moderator in this room right now?
Yeah, but the moderator doesn't have actual rights. That's the problem.
2日前に買ったチキン
Makoto.
のレフトオーバーを温めてそれ。
I'll just call him.
I might be a teacher.
All right. That's better.
Okay.
So we got
he's muted now.
All right, that's good. We got epic meaning and calling, which basically like when you get into any RPG game, you're basically thrown into the center of the universe and you're like here to save the world, which comes with challenges, with like you build your character, level up, progress, kill bosses, get accomplishments, with which feels empowering. You get new items, you get like congratulations for leveling up and stuff like that, which builds into the ownership which like when you build your character and progress through the story, you feel attached to that character. And then there's community relatedness, which is strong, really strong, like in games like World of Warcraft, where people like basically come back again and again because they're connected with the community, which is their guild basically. We got scarcity and patience because people don't really like when things are too easy, so it has to be challenging for people to want to do something. There's the unpredictability that comes with the unknown, and then there's the loss and avoidance, which comes with when you stop playing the game and you lose your character and whatever. Going forward, so we're trying to build this into a real life game, so that we're not just playing games but actually solving real world problems and building projects. And it started really simple, basically just with a Discord and a leaderboard, which was just me. At the beginning it was just me, and I was from like day one noting everything that I did. So like I did an hour of work, I would just note I did an hour of work, and arbitrarily said that 1 hour of work is worth 10 seeds. And so how much are 10 seeds worth? Well, however much we agree that your time is worth. So maybe if you're a programmer, you get 20 seeds per hour. And that's how I started basically inventing like the value structure. Then we got the Aragon DAO. We got the first quest, which is basically just get familiar with MetaGame, read the articles, subscribe to the newsletter, follow us on Twitter, retweet, things like that. And when we gave out that first quest, actually a lot of people started joining and completing the quest and becoming players of MetaGame. We had the first raids, which were people that actually made me really happy, because the first one happened at East Denver, at DevCon, and that's basically when I just first started MetaGame, and I wasn't there, so just a bunch of people talking and spreading the message of MetaGame around DevCon, and I wasn't even there. It was great. We got Achievement Factory, which was made for minting achievements, like NFT achievements, for the people that do stuff in the MetaGame and like the wider MetaCartel and Ethereum community, which we hope to build into this achievement network where other organizations can join and mint achievements for their own companies and guilds. We have Interspace, which at the time of making presentation looked like this, but you can see that a few days ago the graphics were updated for basically for this conference. And we got the Meta Radio, which is only getting started, and started as a podcast for the MetaGame, but really it's meant to be like a network of podcasts. So we got the MetaGame podcast, we got Peter's Wizard of Devs podcast. We're probably Pretopia is likely to join, and some other friends. And this is showing also like the very primitive version of how we started gamifying the process. So when you join the MetaGame, part of Quest 2 is to open this battle plan, make yourself a character basically by copying one of these purple triangles and connecting yourself to the project or task that you want to be working on. Forward. Yes, and so the first version of MetaGame is meant to be like really simple 2D like this, just to break the silos by bringing projects together and share more information. For example, one of MetaCartel projects is currently going around and trying to raise money from VCs, which his information will become really helpful to other people trying to raise money inside the MetaCartel and MetaGame. And so as it currently stands, every project needs to discover this information on their own, and we really want to build this resource hub where projects can put down information and share it. And in that process, with that process and bringing together guilds that do different parts of projects. So we got guilds that build, guilds that promote, and guilds that fund and whatever. We'll be establishing this sort of decentralized factory, where like the meme that I came up with was do for Web3 projects what Henry Ford did for the automobile, which I think captures it really nicely, because the idea is to have one place where you can share ideas, get people tell you if it's a good idea or not. Then you get people that are going to help you build it, people that are going to help you fund it, and like take it to the market. But then there's the MetaGame 2.0, which is really what I wanted MetaGame 1 to be, which is actually bigger than crypto. So at that point we would be able to start focusing on like real world problems, like players of MetaGame would be expected, for example, to offset their carbon footprint and things like that, and like we would come up with this virtual operating systems that will be open source, that other communities and potentially corrupt nation states of the third world could basically use to start their own metagame that would be connected with us. And this would establish this sort of web of opportunity where you don't need to anymore change your physical location to get access to opportunities, but just connect to metagame. And the long-term goal is to establish this sort of resource-based economy. So it's no longer important to have a lot of money to build stuff, but simply have all these guilds that all produce some kind of a resource. So the building guilds produce this sort of build token. We got the marketing guilds producing these meme berries. We got consultancies and advisories producing stratagems, and like all the resources that we need. That we would then be able to exchange between each other without having to rely on having like bags of old school money, which would then part of the reason for that would be that unlike for example Moloch or Metacartel, well, Metacartel is also accepting now, but the point is that we don't need people to pledge money to join. They can just pledge their time or whatever resource they're producing, and yeah, on the way of making it, it will make it easy to see what we have and what we need. And yeah, and this was basically when I announced InterCon, which was 10 days ago, and it came very fast. Too fast. It was announced like 10 days ago in advance, which is about the same time that I started planning it. So thank you, Hamad, and thank you everyone who really pushed this technical side, because I couldn't have done it otherwise. And that should be all from screen sharing. All right. Do we have any questions? Thank you. Thank you.
We made it.
Woo! Are there questions in the chat? No.
How can people get
Tell me in
involved in
terms.
that? Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
My question is, how can people get involved in metagame, and what do they do?
Oh, they need to drop in our Discord. The Discord. Let me grab the link. And when you join the Discord, you have this signpost channel, which then tells you anything you need to know, directs you further. There we go. All right. Leon wanted to say something, or?
Yeah, thanks. I wanted to ask in terms of development of the interspace, and I mean all the services like Jitsi and everything we're using right now, did you have any cost besides from time or development, or do you pay basically the space,
Everything.
like the
Everything was like
conference room?
pretty much.
Metagame, like so far we spent I think about $500 on everything we did. It's all basically people just build it.
Okay.
We share seeds, which are the ownership of the project, and that's it. But most of Interspace was actually built before MetaGame by one of the people that joined the MetaGame. So yeah, that's one of the ideas of MetaGame, is to just bring together projects. So we don't want to be reinventing the wheel. So like we use Interspace, which was built by another guy at a hackalong. Like we are not building our own reputation system. We are using SourceCred. We are not building our own identity system. We are going to be using Treebox. And
yeah, makes sense.
Do you have any more questions?
I think there might be some questions on
YouTube.
No, in the Jitsi chat, I think, but no, never mind. Is this Triton derivative?
Yeah, I didn't understand the question.
Yes, basically, it's like Fight Club metagame is. Me and Yaler talked about this at ETH Denver. We all push each other to be the best version of ourselves.
But unlike Fight Club, tell everyone about metagame.
Yeah.
And
yeah, the only rule of metagame is tell everyone about metagame. All the time.
All the time. Expect people to know. Like, hey, you playing metagame? What, you don't know what's metagame? What?
And tell me, is there a next InterCon plans?
What?
Is there already a next InterConference?
Is there what? I'm sorry.
A next conference planned?
Now Hamad said something, and I didn't hear it.
Okay. So I will text it. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, is there another InterCon plan? Well, when I started doing this, I planned this to be like a series, so it was supposed to be going on, but I don't know, it will take me some time to decide to do this again, because it was a lot more stressful than I expected. But we're non-con, so one of the people that built Interspace, they have another conference by the end of this month. It was supposed to be in Vienna as a replacement to EdCon, but EdCon got cancelled, then they made non-con, but then non-con got cancelled too because of the bans, and now they're making it a virtual conference.
Okay.
So I can share you a link to that.
Thanks. Man.
Yeah, and speaking of virtual conferences, Dragon Quest is coming up too, all month.
The hackathon, month. Right?
So, yeah, get into that.
Is the name?
Dragon Quest, yeah. It's a dragons questing metagame. It's pretty great.
Yeah, Yeller will be introducing the hackathon, I think, in about an hour. Yeah. At 6 p.m. Half an hour actually. Yeah, there's only one thing in between. Where is that non-con? Non-con.
I'll find it, man. It's fine. Well, thank you.
So these are the people organizing non-con, and the hackathon is already in there. That's good. All right. So next up we got. Hey.
Oh, sorry. Hey, I wanted to clarify my question, kind of. It's like the Fight Club thing that I mentioned wasn't necessarily about like onboarding. Well, maybe it is a little bit, but it was kind of like, I want to know if there's like a way to like bring the ethos of the metagame to the real world. Like by that I mean like when there's the scene in Fight Club out back behind the party store, and the guy like takes his ID and he like points the gun in his face and he's like, "Go live a better life." You know, like I want to know if there's things that we can do to challenge each other in day-to-day stuff that you guys think is aligned with the online stuff to actually bring it into like more of like an actual cultural phenomenon that is the metagame.
Yeah, one of the ways I wanted us to do was through this social accounting channel, which was like kind of misunderstood as only being for reporting what you did and claiming seeds. But I meant for it to be sort of for like just so we share, okay, today I'm going to do this, and like so we share what we're doing and we can encourage each other, and like afterwards ask each other, hey, did you do that shit that you said you will do, and things like that. If that's what you meant by your question.
Oh, it's the one. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly like I wanna use this in my as part of like the larger transformation, you know, like crypto seems like everything, you know, it seems like even like a blockchain model of like the substrate of the universe could be applicable. And I like the optimism out of the scene, and I want to spread it in my community, and I want to use things like MetaGame to onboard people to live a more programmatic lifestyle, like where people are code and like that's their life online instead of just being passive and going on Facebook and stuff like that.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's just hard to get normal people excited about these things.
Guys, I'm telling you, octopus face tattoos. Everyone's going to be doing it. Everyone's going to want to be involved.
I mean, now is probably not the best time, but I think what's usually helps me to get people onto Ethereum is just telling them like that you can have like 8% per anno by locking a stable coin and this like computer finance application. I mean the economic incentive of earning this interest gets them sometimes.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think it's easier to get people like that than with like at least the people that are really risk averse. They will more likely be interested in earning that stable interest than joining crypto. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, 28, which means other talks are about to